Let me ask you a question. What if the answer to your sleepless nights wasn't found in a bottle, but in a bowl? There was a time in my life when nightfall brought anything but peace. I would lie in bed, eyes closed, body tired, but the mind, racing, the clocks ticking, would echo like thunder in my ears. I tried warm milk, I tried walking, I tried praying, and you saw I even tried pills. But the problem with pills is that they trick the body. They don't teach it. When people speak of sleep as a luxury, they forget that it is not a privilege but a necessity. For the elderly, this truth becomes even more vital. As the body ages, the rhythms that once operated with precision begin to drift. The internal clock, once in harmony with the setting sun and the rising dawn, becomes misaligned. And so, the night becomes longer, the mind more restless, and the body less energized when morning finally arrives. But what if the answer was never about forcing sleep, but about inviting it through something as simple as the right food? There is an old tale of a temple elder who once instructed a young disciple troubled by insomnia. The boy came to him night after night, his eyes sunken, his spirit dull, complaining that the darkness would not embrace him. The master offered no chants, no herbs, no prayer beads. Instead, he handed him a small clay bowl and said, "Eat this before you lie down. Then sit quietly and breathe as if the world is already sleeping." The bowl contained nothing but soaked almonds and a few slices of banana. Not magic, but balance. Certain foods, particularly those containing natural melatonin and tryptophan, gently support the body's transition into sleep. Tart cherries, for instance, contain high levels of melatonin. This compound is not foreign to our body. It is the very signal that tells the brain when to rest. With aging, however, the body's production of melatonin decreases, and the signals become weak. Instead of sleeping deeply, we enter fragmented cycles: light rest, frequent waking, and unrefreshing mornings. In these moments, the mind begins to associate the night not with calmness but with struggle. This is where the role of natural food becomes more than biological, it becomes psychological. Eating something that aligns with the body's sleep rhythm signals safety. It's like telling the nervous system you are cared for. A warm chamomile tea with honey, a kiwi fruit, a bowl of yogurt with crushed flaxseed. These are not just food choices, they are rituals. And rituals, especially for seniors, bring structure, familiarity, and peace. The body listens deeply to rhythm. Just as breath affects thought, food affects emotion. For a senior who feels anxious or ungrounded at night, the absence of a healthy routine around meals can add to that disorientation. When one eats heavy meals late at night, high in sugars or processed fats, the body shifts from rest mode to digestive alertness. The heart beats faster, the gut activates, and sleep withdraws. But when the evening meal is light, and the pre-snack supports neurotransmitter balance, the body is more willing to surrender. There is a saying, sleep is the mirror of the day. What we consume during the day, and especially what we consume before bed, will be reflected in the quality of our rest. A woman in her 70s once told me that she used to take sleeping pills every night, convinced that her age made deep sleep impossible. But after gradually switching to natural sleep-supporting foods, she began to sleep through the night without medication. Her favorite, a blend of tart, cherry juice, and walnuts. She would sip it slowly, like a sacred drink, and then sit near her window watching the moon before bed. The stillness returned to her, and so did her dreams. Science may explain the nutritional profile of these foods, but wisdom lies in the experience of their effects. Magnesium-rich foods like almonds calm the muscles and nerves. Tryptophan options like turkey or oats help produce serotonin, which in turn creates melatonin. Bananas, which many overlook, contain both magnesium and potassium, helping to relax the body and prepare it for rest. For seniors who feel disconnected from sleep, understanding that their bodies are not betraying them is essential. The body, even in its later years, seeks harmony. It just needs to be reminded gently, through daily routines, through food that whispers to the nervous system, not shouts, through choices that align with nature's cycle, not battle against it. Many older adults fall into the trap of irregular eating. They skip meals or eat too close to bedtime. Others consume coffee late in the day, unaware of its lingering effects. But caffeine stays in the system long after the last sip. The wise choice is not to avoid all indulgences, but to understand their timing. One must learn to eat with awareness, not out of boredom, not out of habit, but out of intention. Food before sleep should be warm or room temperature, not cold. The body finds it easier to digest when it doesn't have to first heat the food. A warm bowl of oats with a dash of cinnamon and a drizzle of honey is like a lullaby for the digestive system. It speaks gently, asking nothing in return but trust. Let us also not forget hydration. Many seniors limit water intake in the evening for fear of waking at night. But mild dehydration can also disturb sleep. A small amount of water, or a calming herbal infusion like lavender or lemon balm, can hydrate and relax without overwhelming the bladder. Again, it is about balance. Not too much, not too little. Sleep is not won with effort. It arrives when the conditions are right. And food can be one of the purest conditions we create. But not just what is eaten, how it is eaten, slowly, mindfully, without screens, without distractions. To chew is to awaken enzymes. To pause is to invite awareness. The very act of eating with gratitude begins to shift the nervous system from fight to rest. From doing to being. There is no need for grand changes. No need to overhaul the entire diet overnight. Begin with one thing, one bowl, one routine. A bowl of warm milk with crushed almonds and a pinch of nutmeg, a handful of tart cherries after a walk in the evening. One act of nourishment, repeated, with care, becomes a rhythm. And rhythm heals. The body remembers. Even after years of sleeplessness, it remembers how to rest. It only needs to be guided not with force, but with patience. The food we choose can be that guide, not to push the body into silence, but to lead it there, gently, like a hand leading a child through a darkened room. The night, then, no longer becomes a battlefield, but a sanctuary, a place where the body, guided by the quiet wisdom of food and ritual, returns to its natural state of restoration. And when the morning comes, it greets you not with fatigue, but with energy that rises from real rest, not borrowed time. When sleep comes from balance, and not sedation, the morning no longer demands caffeine or willpower. It greets you like a trusted friend, steadily, clearly, and with energy that belongs to you. There is a story often told in the mountains, where the wind is patient and the trees have learned to listen. A traveler came to visit an old monk known for his long life and boundless energy. The visitor, curious about the secret of this vitality, asked, "What medicine do you take to rise before the sun, walk for hours, and work without tiring?" The monk smiled, shook his head, and answered, "No medicine. Just rice, roots, rest, and timing." Many underestimate the power of simple things done with awareness, especially food, not only in how it is prepared or consumed, but in how it is timed. The elderly often speak of fatigue, not just in the body but in the spirit. They wake up tired, their limbs heavy, minds foggy, and yet, this weariness does not always come from illness. Sometimes it comes from a misalignment between the rhythm of the body and the rhythm of nourishment. Specific nutrients, those that bring peace to the nervous system, repair to the brain, and calm to the muscles, have the potential to transform sleep. But, more importantly, they also shape how one awakens. It is not the duration of sleep that defines energy, but the depth and quality. And that depth depends on what the body is given before the night descends. Magnesium, for instance, acts like a silent guardian of rest. It soothes overactive nerves and unclenches tense muscles. Foods like seeds, nuts, and leafy greens carry this mineral in abundance. When taken in the evening, it prepares the body like the lowering of a curtain before a play ends. Melatonin, naturally found in certain fruits, whispers to the mind, signaling that the stage of the day is done. These compounds are not foreign. Bodies understand them. They are part of a language older than any word. As one ages, the body becomes more sensitive to imbalance. A small deficiency, once ignored in youth, begins to speak louder with time. A restless night is not just a night poorly spent, it is a message. And if one listens, that message can guide us to the right remedy. Sometimes that remedy comes not in medication or therapy, but in a bowl of oatmeal with pumpkin seeds, or a cup of herbal tea with a slice of kiwi. There was once an elder woman, 90 years in age, who lived by herself near the forest's edge. Her days were prayer and feeding birds, but what surprised visitors most was not her peace, but her energy. "I don't sleep long," she would say, "but I sleep deep." Her secret was nothing exotic. Before bed, she would eat a handful of walnuts soaked in warm water and drink a small glass of tart cherry juice. Her body, tuned to this quiet habit, responded like a river remembering its course. What these foods contain: magnesium, melatonin, tryptophanes, important, but more important is how they are consumed. Slowly, with presence. In silence, not while watching television or scrolling through devices. The moment of eating becomes a message to the body: prepare. Rest is near, and so the body listens. The nervous system slows. The digestion moves gently. The brain clears space for sleep to enter. There is great wisdom in eating less at night, but eating right, for when the stomach is too full, the body is busy digesting instead of healing. But when the right foods are consumed in right measure, they act like silent caretakers throughout the night. They reduce inflammation. They support hormone production. They allow the heart to beat in calm rhythm, the breath to deepen, the brain to settle into dream. Some foods, like fatty fish or complex carbohydrates, help in releasing serotonin. This chemical, in turn, becomes melatonin. The path is natural, elegant, and unforced. No artificial push is required, just cooperation with the body's own mechanisms. The morning that follows such a night is not greeted with alarm clocks or dread. It arrives like a gentle tide, carrying with it clarity, energy, and joy. This energy is not from adrenaline or caffeine, it is from rest. And rest, when complete, becomes power. Many seniors struggle with this cycle. They sleep poorly and wake with exhaustion. They turn to stimulants, tea, coffee, sugar, to feel awake. But these are borrowed flames. They burn quickly and leave behind only ashes. The true fire must come from within, and it begins with the kindling offered the night before. There is an ancient saying, the seed of the morning is planted in the evening. If the evening brings chaos, distraction, overeating, and noise, the morning brings confusion and fatigue. But if the evening is treated as sacred, the morning becomes a celebration. Eating the right foods before sleep is not only about digestion, it is about alignment. It is about teaching the body that healing is possible, that renewal is near. In our fast-paced world, this may sound overly poetic, but the body is not a machine. It is a garden, and gardens do not respond to force, but to rhythm, nourishment, and care. The fourth key understanding lies in this truth. Food can heal in ways that medicine cannot, especially for seniors, whose systems are more vulnerable to drug dependency and side effects. The power of natural food becomes more precious. When sleep is achieved through medication, it is often shallow, fragmented, and followed by grogginess. But when sleep arises from within, from a well-fed and regulated system, it becomes transformative. One elder in our group once shared that she had been taking sleep aids for 10 years. Her nights were unconscious, but never restful. She agreed to gradually reduce her reliance on pills while increasing foods that supported her natural sleep cycle. Dates with tahini, bananas with a sprinkle of cinnamon, oatmeal with almonds. Within weeks, she felt not only more rested but more present. Her mind felt lighter, her mood lifted. Her body, once stiff in the mornings, now moved with more grace. This is not magic. It is awareness. When one becomes conscious of what is placed into the body, and when healing follows, not all at once but steadily, and that steadiness, that return to balance, is more valuable than any quick fix. There is a reason why traditional cultures placed such importance on the evening meal. It was not just nourishment for the body, but preparation for the night journey. The older one gets, the more important these transitions become, from noise to silence, from activity to stillness, from external focus to internal rest. In the end, energy is not something to be chased, it is something to be protected. And the way we protect it is by giving the body what it truly asks for, not stimulants, not sedatives, but balance. And balance begins in the evening, in the kitchen, with hands that prepare food with presence, and a mind that understands that even the smallest bowl, when eaten with care, can be the beginning of healing. The path to peaceful sleep and energized mornings does not lie in struggle, it lies in listening. And when we listen well, the body responds with gratitude, the mind responds with calm, and the spirit rises with the sun, ready to live again. So, the next time sleep doesn't come, don't reach for the sleeping pills, reach for your kitchen. That one small bowl, filled with wisdom from nature, may just hold the secret your body has been asking for all along. Because sometimes the greatest medicine is something you can chew.